Hey folks, Sunny Fakori aka Dorf Caboose here, and we are back with turn number 6 of our Let's Play Labyrinth, The Awakening. And this is our 4th campaign of the Let's Play, although this is the second one of the Awakening expansion. And this is turn number 6. Remember that for this particular game we are playing as the Jihadists, and we are looking to get 2 instead of just 1 victory condition. So this is a fairly long game, and we have already dealt the hand of cards out to both players, and we are good to go. So as the Jihadists, we always go first. Let's go ahead and flip our cards over and take a look at what we have here. Okay, so it looks like we have 2 very not nice cards. We have Gulf Union, and we have Mass Turnout. Now, mass turnout only affects regime change countries, so we can play that rather safely. But Gulf Union is a card that can actually have an impact on the board. And it looks like here that this would allow the United States to place more local security forces in countries like the Gulf states, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Jordan, and Morocco. They can also reposition, but I don't think they would do that. We can consult the bot chart here to see how they would react to this, but I'm pretty sure this is a card that we do not want. Sorry, it's Gulf Union. Gulf Union. Place cubes if available in country with highest cells minus cubes. Right. So I think I don't want this card to be played. I want to plot with this card for sure, which is fine because we can use some funding for that. So we can leave that to last. What other cards do we have? We have Martyrdom, which is a nice way of getting plots on the board. Free Syria Army. Place Syria into civil war. Place either 2 local security forces or 2 cells there, and then 1 of the other type. Place 1 aid marker in Turkey. That's not a bad card to play. That would sort of allow us to crack Syria open because that converts the Awakening marker into local security forces, which is good. And then we could even just end. Oh, that's actually really, really clever, because that's a way of converting a country, of getting a lot of reaction markers into a country. I like that combination. That seems really, really powerful. We might leave that towards the end, though. Play if a plot was resolved in a non-Muslim country last action phase. If jihadists shift U.S. posture to opposite world, or roll 1 die, prestige. Ooh, that's a nice way to dink their prestige, although we have to have a plot going off. And then there's smartphones, which can be safely played because smartphones has already been played. As you can see over here. I believe that's the smartphone's marker. It's a little hard to see, but my eyes are failing me, so let's see if that is the case. It is smartphone. So we can play that card to our advantage without suffering the consequences. But we have to pick a country for an operation, so we have to sort of do that first. Al-Nusra Front. I want to play the Civil War cards towards the end because a lot of the US's cards might impact them, so I'll wait until the very end to do that. For now, though, I'm going to go ahead and play Mass Turnout for the 3 operations point. The event doesn't fire because there are no regime change countries, and we are going to change the width. We are going to recruit 3 times in Saudi Arabia. This requires a 3 or less. We're going to roll 3 die. We get only 1 success, which is unfortunate, so 1 guy makes his way over to Saudi Arabia. Okay, not so great. Remove all troops from a jihadist player designated country with troops. Shift alignment to neutral. See, this is great because if the US had this card, they could change an Islamist rule country like Afghanistan to neutral. So it's a good thing this is in our hand. And it says troops, not local security forces, so that doesn't impact that. Okay, we're going to go ahead and use Al-Malaki for the 3 operations points. And we are going to try recruiting 3 times again in Saudi Arabia, hoping for some better luck this time. All failures. Alright, that's not good. So, ouch. Alright, that's the end of that unfortunate round. Let's go over to the United States and their 2 cards. So, off to a relatively bad start. Flip that card over. Militia! Play in any country in regime change or civil war. See, I told you, that's why you don't want to get that out early. Place a number of local security forces equal to that resource value of that country. So no, we're obviously not going to do that because there are no civil war countries. So there are no plots on the board. We can skip that section. Can the United States reassess? No, they cannot. They do have a total of 3 ops if they combine it with reserves, though. Playable non-jihadists, no. Disrupt and poor Muslim at cells. They cannot because there are no countries with cells that are allies, so they cannot disrupt. Excuse me. Can they do regime change? No, they're soft. War of ID and Muslim of DRM greater than or equal to 0. Well, let's see here. What is their potential? They're currently at a -3. The markers here counteract that, so they'd be at 0. +1, -1, +1. So they're at a +1 in Pakistan. It sounds like they're going to do a war of idea in Pakistan. So they will go for it. Yep. And let's give it a roll. They have to get a... They have a +1, so they have to get a 4 or higher. And they get a 5. That's enough to completely convert the country over to good rule. So this guy shifts to good. The aid marker is removed, as are the awakening markers, because the country has converted to good governance. And the United States currently has a total of 8 countries at good resources. So they are fairly close to winning the game here. We also have to do convergence now, so let's go ahead and roll on the Muslim, global Muslim table, which is down here. So it's going to be 2, a 10, and a black die. We get a 4 and a 1. That 4 will actually be a 5 if we follow the awakening rules. So that's going to be a 5 and a 1. That's Syria. Okay, so Syria gets another awakening marker. That's going to make our civil war antics a little tricky, but not unfeasible. Alright, and with that play, they discard that card and is over to their next card. Oil price spike. What do we have for oil price spike? I think this is the first time I've played with oil price spike for the United States. Draw highest U.S. associated. Select randomly among possibilities. If event would trigger jihadist instant when treat instant as unplayable. We don't have that condition met, so they can safely play this card. Council's effects of fracking. Fracking has not occurred yet, by the way, so this guy is going to go to the lapsing box. We're just going to put that over there. And they are going to... Are they going to win? They're currently at 9 resources. We'll have to keep track of that. And they are going to... You know, I'm going to put the marker... Is there a way to put the marker for this? No, I'll just grab myself the marker. Event markers... Oil +1. Boom. Gotta keep track of this one, though. Okay, and yeah, so let's go through the discard pile and see if there are any 3 ops cards. Unfortunately, there is no nice handy-dandy way to do this. I'm going to have to kind of just go through this manually. So there's 1, there's 2. Again, I'm probably not completely respecting the order here, so there's 3. Click, click, click. You remind me of a chipmunk. There's another one. Facebook. Ugh, Facebook would be really bad. Right about now. Well, so how are you guys all doing today? I'm pretty good. Status Quo is not a bad card. It would just be a 3 ops point. Okay, that's all the cards, so back. I think I can just draw all of them. Again, not fully following the order here. Alright, that should roughly be the order, I hope. Okay, let's go ahead and move all the guys there. I'm pretty sure if we draw a card, it's random. No, it's not, so... oh man, I don't want to mess this up. There's got to be some way to draw a card randomly. Because I think if I press shuffle, it's going to shuffle all the cards in there, and then I'm going to have a big problem. Reaper is not... No. Alright. Tell you what, I'm going to roll a... Except I'll know what the card is, which is problematic. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can't really roll a one-sided die. How do I do this best? Man, there's got to be some way to do this. Random card draw. Alright, let's do that. Let's put all the cards there. And let's see if the card I draw is random. Flip. Yep, looks random to me. Okay, let's go ahead and just draw a card to the United States hand. Boom. Alright, mission accomplished. All you guys, all 6 of you, go back into that deck. And that should be enough. Now, this is a bit unfortunate because it does change the order there, but that's fine. So, the US essentially got an extra card. That was also an unassociated card. So they're going to add the value to reserves. So they're just going to get 1 single reserve point from that. Okay, so oil price spike is in effect, and that's the US's turn done. It's over to us with our 2 cards. Come on, Saudi. I think I want to use this for plotting. Let's go ahead and play this for plotting. Let's just get this out of the way. I don't want it to happen, so we'll go ahead and plot 3 times in Saudi Arabia, just to, you know, get resources. So we're going to go ahead and roll 3 die. We get 2 successes. I'm going to put a plot 3 and a plot 2. Ka-chunk, ka-chunk. That should hopefully slow them down a little bit. And then we are going to play we're going to play Je suis Charlie for the 2 operations points. And we're going to try to recruit twice into Syria. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. So, rolling 2 die, we get 2 successes. Excellente. That is more than enough to convert the country over. I could actually have not done that and just moved over to Iraq, but whatever. Alright, let's go ahead and take our 2 cards. So we're done. It's over to the United States with their action play. I believe we discarded all of our cards that we played. Hang on. Je suis Charlie. Ooh, did I not discard the card? No, that's fine. I should have 5 cards in my hand, yes. Was the card I used for an event? Whoa, I'm a little confused here. What's going on? Oh, right. I plotted with it. Whoops. So I can just put this into this card pile, even though I know that I've plotted with it. But it doesn't matter. We're not going to do any more plotting this turn. Okay, so the United States now has to contend with the plots, so they're going to reveal this card. Prism, and they're going to decide how they want to use this card, if they want to use it to alert. So let's go over here to the resolution flowchart. Start here. Is the WMD placed in the country? No. Is free ops available? Yes. Last card of phase? No. Or U.S. reserves less than 2? No. U.S. reserves is at 2, so we go to no. Are there multiple plots? Yes. We go to the alert table. Okay, so they're going to go to the alert table, and they're going to go... Priority is going to be highest plot number, so it's going to be the 3 that they're targeting. And we have to consult the chart here. So let's take a look-see. We have the US's prestige is at -2. Is at 2, not -2. And our funding is at 7, right? So it's 2, 7. So it looks like they're going to do yes, but before we do that, we have to look at this here. Other unresolved plots and poor Muslim, that's going to be +1 each. So really, our funding is over at 8. So it's going to be 2, 8. There are Islamist rules, so really it's going to be 1, 8, because their prestige is going to drop at the end of the turn. And it's not the last turn, Pirates is not an effect, so it's just going to be 1, 8, if we follow all these table modifiers. We get there and we see it's an R, so they're going to roll a die, subtract 1 for each aid, and if the alert result is less than or equal to the plot number, which is 3, then they will alert it. Otherwise, they will not. So we roll a die. We get a 3, which is less than or equal to 3. So they are going to alert the plot with the 3 operations points, which I am perfectly fine with because that's them using a card to do so. So this guy is gone. They don't activate the event, nor do they... although, that, to be fair, that was an event I would have been perfectly fine with them activating. So, Benghazi Falls. Place Libya in civil war. Place 2 security forces there. Set Italy to hard. But are they going to do that, or are they going to alert the plot? Let's find out. So we start here. WD and plot. No. Are there 3 ops available? Yes. Is this the last card of the phase, or is the U.S. reserves less than 2? This is the last card of the phase. Remember, the phase are the 2 sets of cards that they have there, so they are going to say yes, and they will go to the alert table. Again, if we consult the table here, we see our funding is at 7, and their prestige is at 2. This time, because there is not another unresolved plot, it is going to be just at 7 funding and 1 prestige. Although the prestige will drop at the end because there's Islamist ruled countries. So they will alert the plot. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. They will alert the plot. So what's going to happen here is they're there, they say yes, and they will just go ahead and spend the 3 operations points that they have to alert the plot. So great, we've sort of slowed them down a little bit. Although, to be fair, I kind of wanted to get a bit of the funding there. But hey, we burned through their turn. That's not a bad thing. Over to us with our card play. So you know what? The fact that... maybe I should have not moved troops to Saudi Arabia. Maybe I should have just moved them up to Iraq instead. But that's fine. I mean, I guess I can just sort of start moving them there, because this country is going to fall in the next turn. So I'm going to go ahead and play Al-Nusra Front for the 2 ops, and I'm going to go ahead and move 2 cells over. So we're going to flip these guys face the... nope, not to the funding track. They're going to go unactive, and they're going to travel to Iraq. And then for the next card, I'm going to play Smartphones, and I'm going to use this for the event. Play if a country was subject to an event or operation in this or last action phase. Iraq was the case, so they are going to get this happening. Place 1 awakening or 1 reaction marker in one of those countries. So I'm going to put a reaction marker, flip that to a -2, and this guy is gone. Yeah. Well, hang on. Maybe I want to play a 3-op card instead. Nah, it's fine. Yeah, it's... I mean, I could have done something really cool with Syria and putting it in civil war and then breaking it out. But maybe in this case, I want to focus on trying to get Iraq taken care of. So that was our 2 cards over to the United States with their 2 cards. U.S. atrocities. Play if troops in a civil war or regime change country. Nope. So they have 3 op points to play with, and there are no plots, so they just jump straight to the PAR. Can they reassess? No, they cannot. We aren't quite at 3 resources yet. Play if troops in a civil war or regime change country. Shift alignment 1 level towards adversary. Nope. So they're not going to do that, of course. Disrupt and poor Muslim at cells... -Q is greater than equal to 2. Yes, they can. They can disrupt in Iraq because I have my guys there. They won't get the prestige for it, but they can do it. So, oh no, hang on. It's not cells. It's actually 0 in this case because the cubes are 2 and the cells are 2. So no, they cannot do that. Islamist rule, nope. War of idea and Muslim, that might be possible. They're right now to -3. This has a -1 plus 2, so it's a minus. So it's a +1, but the -3, it's -2, so no. I don't think there are any choices that they have on the board here, so no, they cannot do War of Idea there. Is prestige low? Yes, it is. Can they disrupt for +1 prestige? No, they can't. They can disrupt here, but if you only have local security forces, you are not allowed. You don't gain the prestige, but you don't also lose prestige when bad things happen in the country. So no, they cannot do it for a +1 prestige. Is the United States soft? Yes, they are. So they are going to do a War of Idea in a non-Muslim country, and they are soft. So they are going to pick a hard country and then pick from among poor, then fair, then good. So it looks like the only choices they have here are the UK, France, and Italy. So they have 3 ops points, and they are going to elect to Yeah, so they're going to go ahead and pick one of these three. We're going to pick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They pick Italy, and we're going to roll the die, and it comes out to 4, which is soft. That's enough to get them over to the middle, and that gets them a prestige for doing so. And just to be clear, there are... whoa, did I make a mistake with the math here? Yeah, it looks like... nope, I'm good. There's 3 soft and there are 3 hard, so it is exactly at 0. And they gain the prestige. That's good. Okay, now that was the 3 ops card. They do have 2 op points left, so they're going to go through the Homeland Security aspect. Disrupt in the U.S. if seller cadre is there. Then if the U.S. is hard, they're not. Disrupt in a non-Muslim country, there are none, so they can't do that. Add any remaining ops to reserves, but their reserves are full, so if reserves full and ops remain, disrupt in Muslim if this would remove a cadre closest to U.S. if this would remove a cadre. Now, there are no cadres on the board, so that is not an option. Then, War of Idea in a non-Muslim with opposite posture, if none, unmarked. So, they're going to do another War of Idea in a non-Muslim country, and I think they're going to pick either France or the UK. So we're going to roll a die. 1 to 3 is the UK, 4 to 6 is France. They pick the UK. They're going to do that, and they come out with soft. So they do another War of Idea roll. I believe the same thing applies. They get themselves a prestige, and bada bing, bada boom. Now, technically, they do have 1 operation point left. I'm not sure if they keep going. It's not 100% clear. Let's look at the instructions here. Homeland Security. If none, unmarked. With any... With any remaining ops. Using reserves if necessary. Right. So they can always sort of spend more than the 2 or the 3, yeah. I might have been doing that a little bit wrong. Never only use. So I think they are allowed to do, they have 1 operation point left. I think they can do War of Ideas in France too. So, I guess they're going to roll a die and try to get France so that it stays hard so nothing changes there. And that is all of the operations points spent. Ouch. Kind of painful. That was their first card too. Their second card is going to be Hegel. If U.S. play, U.S. postures are hard. If jihadists, U.S. postures are soft. Let's see what the U.S.'s play of Hegel says to do. Hegel. Play if U.S. soft and world not soft 2 or 3. But they are soft 2 or 3, so this is considered unplayable. Alright, so they have 2 + 1 operations points to play with, and they're going to consult the chart as usual. Can they reassess? No, they cannot. Playable non-jihadist? No. Disrupt in poor Muslim? No places meet that condition text, so no. Yep, nope. Islamist rule greater than or equal to 3 and regime change possible? No. I mean, they're still at soft, right? So they can't do that just yet. War of Idea and Muslim with DRM greater than or equal to 0? Well, let's see here. Things have changed quite a bit. So right now they're at a 0 DRM modifier. And there are many countries they can pick that has a greater than 0, that has a 0 or greater DRM. Libya, Algeria, Turkey, and Syria. So it looks like they're going to have to pick amongst those. So yeah, it looks like we're going to do War of Idea Muslim. Poor with the highest DRM, then the fair with the highest DRM, then the Homeland Security. So poor with the highest DRM is first. It seems like of the choices, Saudi Arabia is not in the running at all. Turkey, Libya, and Algeria, Tunisia are all the possibilities there. So these are going to be the countries that they're going to pick. Now Syria also has a good modifier, but it's a fair country, and if you recall, we do the fair with highest DRM last. So no, we're not going to do that. So let's see here. It's going to be... so we have multiple possibilities. We're going to go for the War of Idea Muslim priorities box. Lowest number of flop dice, regime change, capital caliphate, no. Pakistan, Syria, Iran, civil war, no. Adjacent good ally, none of. Well, actually, oh yeah, Libya has an adjacent good ally. So, oh yeah, they do have the highest DRM. Whoops, I always forgetting that Egypt is a good country, so they can get the +1 there. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be Libya here. Yeah, never mind. So let's see. They're rolling at a +1, +2, and it's just a +2. So here we go. They get a 2. 2 + 2 is 4. That's enough to place an aid, but not improve the governance. So all we get is a little aid marker right there. Ka-chunk. And that is their second card. It is over to us to figure out what the heck to do. A part of me wants to get this Free Syria army thing rolling, but a part of me also wants to try to get Iraq under control. I mean, Syria is eventually going to get to good because they now have the 2 awakening markers, and it's pretty hard for us to deal with. But then again, I do want to try seeing how this mechanic works out and see if it's interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and play Free Syrian Army for the event. Let's do this. Place Syria into civil war! Place either 2 local security users or 2 cells there, and then 1 of the other type. Okay, so this is the first time we've had a civil war case happen, so hooray. Let's go to the civil war section and see what this entails. Civil war! Several events call for the outbreak of civil war in a country. Place a civil war marker in the bottom center of the country's space. So we have expansion piece. We're going to say civil war. Bada bing, bada boom, into Syria. Replace all awakening markers with an equal number of local security forces. So these 2 awakening markers will become 2 local security forces. So ka-chunk and ka-chunk. And then replace all reaction markers with cells. Set the country's alignment to neutral and roll its governance. So this is going to go to neutral, and we roll its governance again. It is going to go to poor, which is excellent. So it goes to poor. Replace all reaction marker. Yep. Remove any regime change markers. There are none. Any pre-existing cells remain. Okay, so now we'll follow the text of the card we just played. So in terms of cards, which is in our hand, place either 2 local security or 2 cells. We're going to place 2 cells there, of course, because we are the jihadists. And then 1 of the other types. So another local security forces makes his way out there. So we have 3 to 2. Then place 1 aid marker in Turkey. So this guy is out of play because he is removed. And we place an aid marker in Turkey. Whether that was good or not, I don't know. We'll have to find out. And that was our first play. Our second play, because I'm a bit concerned about the cells there, is going to be... we're going to play Martyrdom Operation. It does say, yeah, non-Islamist rule. So auto-recruit is a success there, but travel is not. I do want to get more cells in there, though. So I'm going to go ahead and travel 3 cells from Mali to there. I think that's the best thing to do. Let's hope they succeed. We get 2 successes and 1 failure. This guy gets caught and sent off to the funding track. Yep. And then these guys... It looks like there were 6 there. Oops. These 2 make their way up there. This guy actually stays active. So we have 2 more guys in Syria. Just milling about, causing havoc. Alright. That is that. I would have wanted to get more so I can get more reaction markers there, but so be it. And it looks like that was our 2 cards, so it is over to the United States now with their action. So first of all is Mosul Bank. Okay, oh, that would have been a nice card for us, but that's not the case here. Play if any country in civil war with 1 or more cells present. +3 funding. Whoa, that's pretty nice. But we are that's a U.S. card, so they're not going to use that. That was a 2 ops card, so they have 2 ops to play with. Let's go back to the bot chart. There are no plots on the board, so they skip that. Next up is we go here. Is it playable? No. Can they disrupt in the poor Muslim at cells? Minus Q is equal to 2. They can't pick Syria. Iraq is not eligible, so no. Islamist regime, nope. Worf ID and Muslim, I think they can. They're currently at a 0 DRM, so any aid and stuff would help out. So let us see here. Worf idea, yes they can. Poor with highest DRM. It's going to be either Turkey or Libya. Syria could be a possibility too, but the DRM is not high there because it's only at a 0. whereas they're at +2, +3 here, +2 there because of the awakening in the 8. So it looks like they're going to pick Libya again. So they're at +3, they're going to roll the die and see what happens. Yes. They get a 5, +3, that's 8, that's enough. It's going to shift over to ally. Okay. That is the end of that card. So it's over to their second card. Oh, they have to also spend the reserves to do that, by the way. Oh, I think I did Hegel too, right? Did I forget to spend the... I think I may have forgotten to spend the reserve there too, so let me retroactively do that too. Next up is Sellout. Play in any country or regime change country with sell. Let's see what Sellout says. Oh, this could be really bad, actually. Treat is unplayable. Okay, thankfully that's the case. Because this is great because if we don't have any cells there, then they would be allowed to just like they would automatically win the attrition, and they would get to improve governance and shift it over to ally and improve governance, which would be really, really bad. So this is not considered playable though. So they only have 2 ops, but this is a no, it's not a neutral card. It's not being played for the event, so it's no. Disrupt in poor Muslim. They cannot. No. War of idea in Muslim with DRM green equals 0. Well, they can target a country that's fair. Let's see here. So their DRM is at 0 right now. They can target. No, Somalia is at a -1, so that doesn't affect that. And Central Asia is also at a -1 because of that going on there. So no, they cannot do any war of idea in Muslim countries. Next up is Prestige low. No, it's at medium. Is regime change possible? No, it's not. Disrupt for +1 prestige, or to place cadre, or to, yeah, to put the cadre there. No, because while they could, no, they actually can't target those countries, so no. Deploy possible? Yes, they can deploy. So where are they going to deploy to? They're going to deploy to the Philippines? No. Ally Muslim with cells and without cubes. No countries are that case, so no. Troops track. So they're going to go to the troops track from Islamist rule. So it looks like all of them are going to move to the troops track from Afghanistan. So they're finally saying, you know what? Afghanistan's a lost cause. Let's get out of there. And that's a little fortunate for them because that means they are going to be in low intensity, which means they will draw 9 cards next turn. And that is their last card. So maybe I should plot with this card, yeah? I think that's what I have to do. So I'm going to go ahead and spend this card for 2 operations points for plotting. And I am going to plot in... I mean, I'd love to be able to plot in countries of 8 so I can remove them, but that's not the case here. I think I'm going to plot in Syria. So we're going to Philippidi... No, not Syria. What am I doing? I want to plot in countries where it's going to be hard for them to disrupt. So I'm going to pick Saudi Arabia because I don't think it makes a huge difference in terms of what happens if they resolve. They don't lose prestige because these are only local security forces. And that's going to be 2 of them, so we're going to roll 2 die, and we get 2 successes. That's great. I'm going to put a 2 plot and a 1 plot in that country. And that is our last card. So it's over the United States with their action play. And they are going to play Facebook. Ouch. Play if smartphone's in effect. Place 1 awakening marker in up to 3 countries that already have an awakening marker in or adjacent to that country. Ouch! Oh no! This is really, really bad. So, wow, this could be the game right here, potentially. So they're going to place up to 3 countries. So we're going to go to Facebook and see how they do this. No? Okay. So let's go over here for the US bot. Placing markers. When placing 8 awakening markers, the US bot uses the War of Idea Muslim Priorities box. So they get to place 3 markers and up to 3 countries that are already have an awakening marker in or adjacent to, yeah. So it can, any country that has an awakening marker can spread them out to the adjacent as well. So let's follow the War of Idea Priorities box and do that. So let's go down here to the US chart. Lowest number of plot dice, so that removes Saudi Arabia from that, although it couldn't be affected because there were no awakening markers next to it anyway. Next up is regime change. There are no regime change countries. Caliphate capital. Nope, the Caliphate capital is not in play yet. Pakistan, unless no arsenal. Pakistan is not eligible because it's a good country. Syria has no arsenal, so we skip that. Iran cannot get awakening marker, so we skip that. Civil War. Okay, so Syria is in civil war, and they can get an awakening marker. I believe they can. Let me double check the rules here. May not be placed in a country in civil war. So what happens if an awakening marker is placed in a country that is at civil war? It just seems like you can't place them, which I guess is what happens. So despite the fact that that is a priority, it seems like Syria is not eligible for those awakening markers, which makes sense. They're currently fighting right now. Adjacent good ally. There are quite a few of those. So it looks like we're going to be... So the good allies are Egypt. So none of the countries here are next to Turkey, which has the awakening marker. So we can ignore these two. But we have Egypt. So Egypt is going to be eligible. There are two countries. There is Sudan and Libya. So we have two possibilities there. Highest resource. So I think it's going to be actually those two, right? Yeah. Yeah, because you have to place it at least 3. So there's going to be 1 awakening marker placed in Libya, 1 in Sudan. This tests the country, so we roll the die. It's going to be a poor country. And they get themselves an awakening marker. And then we get 1 more. Yeah, and we can pick that because that's fine. Okay, so... highest resource, so we have a couple of possibilities left. We have Turkey, Algeria. This was placed during the turn, so that's not a possible place to put it. Syria is not possible. Turkey is not next to Lebanon, so that's not a possibility. So it looks like Morocco is going to be the last one, or Algeria, because these two got 1. We have 1 left, so we have to decide between these two. Highest resource, they're both tied. Neutral, I guess they're both neutral. Besieged regime, fewest sells troops. Okay, so I'm just going to roll a 3-sided die. 1 to 3, it's going to be Morocco. 4 to 6, it's going to be Algeria. There we go. It's going to be Morocco. We're going to test the country. It's going to be a fair country, and they get an awakening marker. So again, got a chopper overhead. So again, maybe that wasn't the correct interpretation, but I did follow the War of Idea Muslim priority box, and that's pretty much what happens there. Oh, hey, you know what? I totally screwed up because there were plots on the board. Let me just double check and make sure that they don't alert the plot. Start here. WMD placed in country. No. 3 ops available. Yes. Last card of phase. I guess it is because and they're used. Yes, it is. So they're going to the alert table. Yeah, I should have double checked that. Whoops. So it's going to be, our funding is essentially going to be at 8 because yeah, because we have that going on there, and their prestige is going to be at 3. So 8-3. It's a roll a die. Oh, so they might have actually yeah, they might have actually done that. Let's see if they would have done that. They got a 6, which means they would have not alerted, so good thing we did all that stuff. So it looks like the plots are going to go off. Yeah, whoops, I should have I almost screwed that up royally, but I remember what the changes I made, so it's not a huge deal. Actually, I would have much preferred them to disrupt the plot than to have that happen, so... Okay, let's go ahead and resolve the plots, because their cards are done, and it looks like these 2 will go off. All I get is 2 funding from each of those, so I'm going to return these to the plot deck, and we get ourselves maxed out on funding, which means we'll be able to draw our maximum number of cards. Okay, I'm pretty sure the oil lapsing event has no real impact here, so because we don't have the necessary countries adjacent to each other for conversion, so that's fine. I think what I want to do now is go for the ending stuff. Okay, so first of all, we lose a funding. U.S. loses a prestige because of Islamist rule countries on the board, Afghanistan and Mali in this case. They don't gain a prestige because the world is not quite there yet. It's getting there, though. Okay, Next up is reserves to 0. Well, that's done. Return plots to available. I kind of did that ahead of time. And then we conduct polarization. Okay, so we have quite a few countries to look at here. We have Libya. Libya is at 2, so they're going to get themselves another awakening marker to get to 3. So Libya is done. Next up is Saudi Arabia. They are going to go to Islamist rule. So they do that right now. Shift to Islamist rule. We get... So let me consult what happens when that happens. Okay, so governance from port to Islamist rule. Alignment to adversary. Remove all regime change markers. Besiege regime. And aid markers. Okay, done, done, done. Add resources to funding. If troops, there are no troops, 1 prestige. Okay, so that's pretty much it. We now have another country under our grasp. We are at 5 resources needed to win the game. One of the game conditions, so still a ways away. But hey, this happened after the funding drop, so we were actually able to take advantage of Saudi Arabia's funding when that happened. We also have to do a convergence as well, but we'll keep that in mind. Next up is going to be Iraq. Iraq has 2 reaction markers, so they're going to get another one. So this country is just about ready to fall next turn under Islamist rule. So we'll have to keep in mind the convergence. These guys also go away. Let's delete those. We placed the awakening there. That goes there. That's pretty much it. There are no other awakening or reaction markers. We are done with the polarization phase, but we have to add the convergence from the Saudi Arabia token there. So we're going to roll on the global table. We get a 6 and a 4 that corresponds to column 6 and row 4. So that's going to be Iraq. Iraq is going to get a reaction marker, which is funny because they can actually take it. So they're going to be at a -4 now. They're definitely falling next turn. And that could be it for that victory condition, but we have to figure out how to get the other one going. Which means we should probably dedicate ourselves towards trying to get Pakistan and Syria to fall somehow. Okay, that is the end of the polarization phase, but now, if we look at the end of turn chart, which is over here, after that, we do the Civil War attrition aspect. So let's do that right now. So, how does the Civil War attrition aspect work? Let's go ahead and consult the rules here. Okay, each player counts the number of combatants in a Civil War country. Cubes, either troops or security forces, or cells. Each group of 6 combatants inflict 1 hit on the other player. For groups of 5 or less combatants, roll a die. If the result is less than or equal to the number of combatants, a hit is inflicted. And then you resolve the hits simultaneously. A hit by the jihadists of the United States means the US loses a cube, whereas the jihadists lose 2 cells. Rolling for attrition does not make cells go active. They just are removed, essentially. Nor do they have to be actively taken as losses. I think that's how it's interpreted. Attrition losses do not impact prestige in any way. Attrition may be caused or taken by cubes that are represented by markers. Yeah, that's fine. The big thing is if you're hit and you're unable to have the pieces in place to do so, then alignment shifts towards ally or adversary, and then the governance potentially changes up or down. So that's that. So yeah, let's go ahead and go back to the Syria here. So we're going to go ahead and do that. The U.S. has 3 local security forces there, and the jihadists have 4. So they have to get a 3 or less. We have to get a 4 or less. I'm going to roll the U.S. die for theirs and 1 for us. So they get a 1 and a 1. That's enough to inflict losses on both ends. The U.S. loses 1 security forces cube, so he's gone. We lose 2 cells, though. So these guys are also gone and sent to the funding track. Okay, that's the end of the attrition phase. Next up is deal new cards, where it's going to be 9 each. So I think we're going to get that critical middle card, so I'm going to go ahead and go back and forth between us. Here we go. Six, 7, 8, 9. Alright, excellent. That is our new hand, and that is their hand. And we dealt the new cards, remove lapsing events. This oil effect is essentially gone, as is this card. It is discarded to the discard pile. Remove lapsing events. Remove off-map forces. That's taken care of. Regime change to Tan. There are no regime change countries. Only a bloody civil war going on in Syria. You could say ISIS is trying to take over. And that's pretty much it. Okay, we are done for turn number 6. Looks like the United States is slowly catching up, but we were able to get enough reaction markers to get some nasty shenanigans going on here. We put the United States in an interesting position because they have to reassess themselves to hard if they want to stop Saudi Arabia from falling. But we are very close to meeting our victory condition of 6 resources of countries under Islamist rule. So we're getting there, but it is still a ways away. Anyway, what other things occurred in this game? Well, the most interesting thing was Syria falling under civil war, and it was interesting because we were able to stop those awakening markers from impacting the country too greatly and able to get that going. Unfortunately, the United States is very slowly building up towards getting, it looks like, 8, 9 resources under good if Libya falls, and 2 of them are oil producing, so the next oil price spike is going to possibly push them over to the 12 limit. We have to start working on slowing these countries down. It's going to be a painful process, but it's something we have to do. So, hooray! Let's see if we can do that. Otherwise, we have a -4 reaction marker happening in Iraq, so this is off to an excellent start. We can just start moving guys over to the Gulf states or to Syria just to overwhelm it. And that should be sufficient. But assuming no change in governance in Iraq, this country will fall to Islamist rule next turn, and we will be in good shape. Okay, that is it for turn number 6, campaign number 4 of our Let's Play Labyrinth the Awakening. I, again, have been Sunny Fahouri, aka Darth Caboose. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video for turn number 7 of our Let's Play Labyrinth the Awakening. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time.